Alright, current time is 5:40 in the morning. I was out of the bed by 5 o'clock this morning. It's the 14th of July, 2022. That's part of the trail. This actually worked out really good. I woke up this morning, took a whiz, thought about it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to need a poop pretty soon. Looked at the map. There's a park about a half a mile from where I was sleeping. Thank you very much. And with toilet paper, and as if that's not good enough, sprinklers are going so I could wash my hands. Yeah, gotta love that. So we're all loaded up and ready to go. Actually, I was turning around and the sprinklers helped wash the solar panels too, so bonus points. I was just realizing I picked up a really nice shop towel on the side of the road yesterday or day before, and it looks like I've lost it. I thought I had jammed it down in here, but I don't see it now. I was using that just to wipe the panels off, and oh well. Those are always on the side of the road, so I'll find another one. Alright, it's about 6 o'clock in the morning. The sun is so low it would be virtually useless, so I don't even worry about parking in the sun. Found a water fountain, filled up my gallon, good to go. Found a trash can, got rid of my trash. And happened to look across yonder street. Ooh, Handy Mart. Walk over there, flashing open sign, get a fresh cup of coffee and a sweet roll, and we're good to go for breakfast. And somewhere back here, to make it healthy, we got bananas in there still. Breakfast of champions. Let's go sit in the sun at least. It's almost cold out still. Yeah. This ain't so bad, civilization. Just gotta know how to hack it, I guess. Alright. Breakfast, email, coffee, go. Okay, there's parts of it that are really close to the freeway, but not all of it. And they've got different sections that are sponsored by local businesses, which is kind of cool. So you get community involvement and stuff. It's really in good condition out here. The only downside is with the trees, I'm getting very little solar, but that's just nitpicking. This is pretty cool though. I mean, basically all the way through Spokane, across the state line, into Coeur d'Alene. I'm going to be just cruising along here, so this is pretty cool. Well, it's still a porta potty, but they dressed it up nice. I just wanted to get a shot of this for future inspiration. I guess it could be a bench too. It's got the little claws out the bottom. Arachnophobia. That's awesome. Alright, moving on. Highway 95 going south from Lake Coeur d'Alene. That's Lake Coeur d'Alene there. I just realized that I was almost going to miss the lake when I took this, so I had to make sure to get a shot of it. Yeah, I made a quick change here. Was planning on going to a campsite on the other end of the lake. Oh, logging truck, gotta get this. Anyway, I was gonna go to the other side of the lake and then come down. And then I thought, well, there is no reason to go there. I was gonna end up at a campsite at noon. So I'm gonna skip that one and just keep going straight. Get down to that Rails to Trails trail. I'll explain that later. Anyway, off we go. Okay, Lake Coeur d'Alene behind us. Trees. Hill. That's pretty nice.
Got about 10 miles left on Highway 95. That looks an awful lot like canola, which is an oil seed that we used to grow in Canada when I was a kid on the farm. Just a bright, bright yellow. Really pretty. Okay, we are in Plummer. We're going to follow this red line, which is a bike path, which is rails to trails. It's an old converted railway line. One of the good things about the rail lines is they aren't very steep. There might be a lot of turns, but they can't go very steep because the trains couldn't pull them up. So this will take us about 70 or so miles, all the way to there, Mullen or whatever. We got guidelines, safety hazards, keep right except the pass, do not drink the surface water, bring drinking water with you, use a helmet, play it safe. No camping or campfires, pets on leash, no motorized vehicles. Yeah. Okay, that will take us all the way to the edge of Montana, which I think that's the Continental Divide too, if I remember right. Could be wrong. Except, oh, here we go. This trail has been inducted to the Rail Trail Hall of Fame. Anyway, this is what we're doing. This is where it starts. However, we are not starting it right now because I got to run into town and do some rebuilding of a wheel on the trailer. So we'll come back to that in a minute. Warriors and veterans of the Coeur tribe. That's pretty cool. Very cool. And various plaques and names. Okay, that's pretty cool. All right, sit rep. Turns out that the cot on edge is perfect for a jack stand, go figure. So the situation is, this has been plaguing me for a couple days, but it finally got bad. Where the bearings should be, this little cap here popped out probably when I hit a bump and all the bearings fell out. It was making a racket. So if I had access to bearings, I could probably maybe replace them. So I'm going to try to save as much of this as I can, but as it is, it's pretty messed up. There's chunks of metal falling out. So I found a hardware store, Ace, snap ring pliers. This is held together with snap rings, and I can pull this one apart, and I'm thinking I can pull out the bearings of the parts that haven't got lost on the inside yet. And these are 1/2-inch bolts, which I think are about the same size. Looks pretty close. I actually didn't measure that. I just went and bought a bunch of them. So I got 1/2-inch bolts and lock nuts and spacer washers, and I got 2 different sizes, and I'll figure out which one I want. So I'm thinking just take this apart, and then I'm thinking the bearings that are in there still I can leave in there. The biggest thing is use the flat washer on the outside so that the bolt doesn't pull through. I think this wheel is maybe messed up. In the future I might be able to rebuild it though. The other option, I bought the biggest replacement wheels they had at the hardware store, which are I think 10 inches, and this is 16-inch wheel, so that would be pretty bad. And they were hard rubber wheels, no air, so this thing would have just made a huge racket, and it would have been way too low and everything would be all messed up. This trail, I got a pamphlet. The trail is about 75 miles long. We are going to pass a few towns. At the moment I don't have any cell phone coverage, so I'm not sure if I can do any better than this on the trail or not, but I should be able to get to the end of the trail. Then we'll be into Montana, and I'll go through several large cities-ish, yeah. So we'll kind of see how it goes after that. So we'll get this going. It is still not even 3 o'clock yet, so the mission for today, hang on. I'm kind of taking a chill towards the days here lately. We're actually capable of making good time, but I'm not sweating each mile so much. Like I was on the road this morning, 7 o'clock or something like that, and then rode for a mile, found a porta potty, took care of business, rode for another 10 miles, had to wait an hour for the bank to open. My new debit card is waiting for me at the post office, so I don't have it. So when I need cash, I just go in, hit a bank, one of my banks, and show them my ID and show them the expired card, and they can just hook me up. So that's all good. I was kind of bummed. The phone that died had the app for the bank, but I realized I could still log into the website through the phone's browser and not have to load the app. The app was a giant pain in the butt to get set up, and so I never did it on the second phone. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to do it again. And then later on I'll buy a new phone again, so I'm not going to do it on this one. But I am able to, like, I was going to make a credit card payment, then realized I couldn't without the app, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I can still do it on the website. Anyway, enough talking. I'm not really in a big hurry because the bike is charging, and that's good. Yeah. Anyway, let's swap this out and we'll be on the road. Okay, this has got to be one of the best happy coincidences ever. So I bought these solid wheels, really hoping I wasn't going to need them, but it was good for an emergency. Well, it turns out these bearings pop out pretty easy, and it made a nice press fit into the wheel when I removed what was left of the bearing that failed. So I'm like, well, crap, that just for the win. So next time I'm in town, I'm going to pop the other bearing out, go find a bearing shop, and just get a whole bunch of them, because eventually they'll wear out. But that just solved that problem. Yeah. I think what happened, I hit a hard side bump, bounced off a curb or, regular pothole or something like that, and it was just enough to pop the cap out, and then from there the bearings fell out and it just disintegrated, right? So by putting the bolt in, this can't happen again. And now that I know what the bearings are going to look like, yeah, I'm very excited about that. That's like 100 times better than I expected. So overkill having that. I'm going to probably end up saving it. They're kind of heavy, but if I do need it, I'll have it. And I could take the bearing out of that wheel and put it back in here if I need to. I bought 2 of those that way, because it's like, these are so much smaller. This would have been just completely stupid, This would have been a lowrider. It would have been dragging everything. I'd have to redo it because it would hit the tires probably, But that problem is solved now. So, yay! Yeah. Happy little coincidences. So I know that eventually we're going to be going uphill, but it's been almost all coasting since I left the parking lot. I'm about 1.5 miles in. I've only had, I blipped the throttle a couple times going up a short hill, and then you coast and coast and coast. I'm not sure if this is actually part of the rail yet, but one of the things about rail trails is they had to keep the elevation or the grade really low so that the trains could make it up. So it's just long and gradual, which is just wonderful for riding on. So let's see if I can do this handheld. Okay, about 4 kicks, coast. And we're going 7 miles an hour already. Alright, a little faster. Not using electric, so. It's 3:30 in the afternoon. I got 50 volts on the battery. That's what I started this morning with. So as much as possible, I've been just saving the battery. Stay on trail, respect private property. Nine miles an hour, just a nice easy coast. This is great. And I'm still charging. I'm getting 100 watts of charge right now off the solar. Alright, better put the camera down before I drop it. Okay, that's mile marker 5. We started, actually I rode for a little bit before I saw mile marker 0, so I'm not sure exactly how they count. That is at least the second restroom I've seen. I think it's a vault toilet. And it's got solar panels on it, so it's kind of funny. Yeah, go figure. Yeah, just wonderful. It's like I have been coasting practically the whole time so far. I know that's going to end, but we are, like I said, that's mile marker 5. We started here, and we're already up to here. The whole trail is only 75 miles or something like that, so I mean, we're not going to finish it today. There is a campsite, I think, on the other side of the lake somewhere that I'm probably going to go to. Yeah. I'm not going to read all this, but these signs are everywhere. Most of this is tribal land. On the website and also on the brochure, I'll link that in the description. There's a whole bunch of information about how this was built on tribal land and the treaties and different stuff like that. That sign over there talked about since it was tribal land and this was the railroad line, the natives were allowed to ride the trains for free, and they would ride it to the next lake and go fishing and then come back, kind of thing. Kind of cool. Anywho, yeah, it is just super gradual, rolling on down, coasting about 10 to 12 miles an hour. You know, eventually I'll have to go back up the hill, but in the meantime, the only downside in this being late in the afternoon, I'm not getting very much sun, but I don't really need very much because I already got 50 volts, so 53 would be full, but I won't do very good if I'm climbing. I mean, I got plenty of battery, but yeah, anywho. And it's about 4 o'clock now. This has got to be the coolest thing ever on a bike. The Dream, and apparently they've got about 50% already finished. They're linking together trails that go all the way across the country, like all the way across the US. So apparently there's about 1,500 miles of trails, but there's big gaps in between. And at some point they will eventually get them all connected. Also, apparently there's a Trans-Canada Trail network, which I need to go find someday. I was looking at the map, and on the one map it shows a bridge going across the lake, and then on my Google Maps it's like you got to zoom way in to see it. It's like there is a little tiny, I guess it's probably a rail bridge across the lake. So there's going to be a campsite up ahead that I might stop at if it's open, if I can get a spot. If not, I'll go across and then do another campsite on the other side and see how it looks. It's about 4 o'clock now, so if I see a campsite, I should probably get it, kind of thing. This is all right though. Okay, I feel better actually having seen the bridge, because it barely shows up on the map, and I think it's only for biking. Like, I don't think you're supposed to drive across it, which is kind of cool. And we're about less than a mile from the campsite now, so that should put the bridge really close to the campsite, which should be great. Cool, forward and onward. Well, after nearly biffing it, I'm going along on the marked trail, and then it says campground this way, and it goes like straight up the side of the hill. I'm like, are you kidding me? So apparently there was an easier way. I got almost to the top, and then there's a locked gate. I'm like, ah! So I'm pushing the stupid bike up this steep hill. Got the motor pulling me up a little bit. That worked pretty good. I was okay with that. And get up to where the campsite is, locked gate, and then so I left the bike and walked in and looked around a little bit. And it looked like all the campsites were reserved that I could see, and there's a parking lot full of cars. So this being on the beginning end of the trail, and so I'm like, okay, that's probably not going to work. And from what I can see, most of the campsites are going to be close to the roads, so odds are, you know, even on, I think today's Thursday, probably going to have a lot of full campsites, so I might just have to improvise. The good news is there's restrooms about every 2 miles, so all I got to do is park next to one of those and I'd be set. Yeah, it's 5 o'clock now and I got a full charge still, so that part's good. I got a feeling if we're at water level now, we got to climb up out of here, so that might have been the easy part. All right, it's about 5:30 now. I just got to stop and get a shot of this. You're supposed to stay on the trail, so don't go off the trail. This even shows up in the shadows. See the eyes? That's pretty cool. The head is a gas tank from a motorcycle. I think the arms are exhaust pipes, fender, chain sprockets. Actually, the frame of the motorcycle, I guess, or an ATV maybe. I wish there was sunlight on that, it would show up a little better. That's pretty cool. And then over there is like a bumblebee. That's pretty cool. Alright, moving on. Private residence is all along here, so we are requested to be good neighbors, stay on the trail, don't mess anything up. The other irony, and I'll look at the map later, I rode all the way south to get to the beginning of this trail, which then circles the lake. It's going to end up going quite a ways up the way that I came down on the other side, which is fine. It's, you know, going to be a 75-mile trail that probably covers 40 miles. The funny thing is, I was originally going to come down this side of the lake, so I was going to camp at the top of the lake this morning and then come down and pick up the trail, which I'm now realizing I'm going to end up almost where I started again. That's just hilarious. All right, here we go. We are here. And the trail is in black, so we're going to turn this corner and start following this up. And eventually up here we're going to meet up with Highway 90 again. Cool. Making progress. There's a marina, ice cream, restaurant, camping. There's a different map. There's Plumber. We're here. And then we gotta go all the way over to there. Yeah, cool. Alright, it's about 6:30 p.m. This is just gorgeous. This section here is brand new asphalt. And there's an access road, and the part on the left side of the trail looks like a dry lake bed. So I don't know if they raised the lake, lowered the lake, raised the dirt, because this is wet. It doesn't look like it's very low, so I don't know. Cool place for a house though. And the Coeur River is just on the side, on this side. Yeah, this is all right. I've been going through swarms of no-see-ums. If I was like a whale, I just opened my mouth and I could feed on the fly. Yeah, yuck. Just do your best to keep your head down and bounce them off the top of your hat, I guess. Yeah, okay, 3.5 miles, go. If that one's closed, I don't know what we'll do. Improvise. We will not torment the wildlife. Turtle is crossing the trail as I passed. Pretty dark in the shadow, almost didn't see him. He doesn't feel too threatened, he's still got his head out. So I'll just pass on by. You can see all the no-see-ums dancing in the light there too. Alright, little guy, you're on your own. Okay, there's a road up there. And there's this little gravel road here. Porta potty or vault toilet there. Just around the corner is an actual campsite, but it looked like a private campsite, like no welcome bicyclists kind of things. Yeah, I could probably get brave and go talk to him, but in the meantime. And then this right here is the trail. We are at the town of Lane, so 29.6 miles of the trail itself. Now I went back and figured out where I started today, and I think I did close to 90 miles, which explains why I'm so tired. Oh, also I haven't unloaded the bike yet, but I was just looking for food. I'm like, okay, we got dumplings, peanut butter, bread, mustard, banana, Coke, a bunch of Cliff Bars, and at least a gallon of water still on the trailer. So we have provisions. I think tomorrow we'll hit some towns and actually eat. Okay. I'm tired. Yeah, I was trying to recreate my route that I went. So I started today. I got on the, man, I think I was got up at about 5. I think I was moving by 6, if I remember right. I got some videos of it. One of the things though, I decided I needed to hit a Wells Fargo because my debit card expired, and so if I can go into the branch, show them my ID, and then they can get me money or whatever I need. So that's always useful. They didn't open till 9, so I was kind of being a slacker in the first time, the first place in the morning. Rode along the trail, saw a place to fill up my water bottle, so I'd stop and I'd look over and, oh, there's a mini mart, so I got some coffee and that kind of stuff, just kind of bebopped along. And I think I kind of made this one up on the fly because, oh, here, I'll show us on the map. This will make more sense. Okay, this doesn't exactly show state line, but here's I-90 here. Here's the town of Coeur. I came down 95 to Plumber. I think on Facebook I spelled it like plumber, like plumbing plumber, but Plummer. This is where the trail starts. And we went to the lake. There was a campsite here. That was the first one I tried to stop at. I was ready to stop already. It was about 4 o'clock then. And that didn't work out, so we came past Harrison. I stopped and shot some video there. There's a big beach and people and stuff there. Came along here at Medimont, Medimont. There was supposed to be a campsite, and I had it on Google Maps, and some of the descriptions were it might be closed, it says no camping, it's free, it's, you know, whatever. I'm like, well, we'll take a chance. I get to where it says to turn, and there was an overpass, I swear, 30 feet above me, and I couldn't see any way that I could get onto it. It was like up a rock wall. I'm like, okay, that's not going to work. The good thing about this trail is there's very little access to it, except for at the trailhead, so you don't have, you know, traffic on it, right? The bad thing is when you're on the trail, you can't get off the trail because it's just out in the middle of nowhere. And we were going through swamp and stuff like that, so I could see, it's like I didn't want to camp in the swamp if I could help it. I'm really close to the river as it is. I'm hoping the bugs don't get too bad. Anyway, so Medimont was where it looked like there could have been a campsite, but I don't think I would have wanted to camp there anyway because it was surrounded by swamp, so that probably wasn't any good. And so we went another few miles up to Lane. So this is mile marker 29. All right. Okay, the battery's about to go dead, so I'll try to do this fast. So basically from State Line to Coeur Lane, and then down Highway 95 to Plummer, and then up the trail to Lane. So that's 29 miles on the trail. So I think it's pretty close to 90 miles. And I'm like, oh my God, no wonder I'm so tired. Yeah, I was ready to quit 4 hours ago. You know, I was like, oh, if I got to that first campsite and could have got a spot there, I was like, man, I had ideas. You know, I could do a little bit of maintenance on the bike, you know. And actually, before I even got on the trail, when I was redoing that bearing on the wheel, I was like, this would be a good time to stop, you know. No. No can do. No can stop. I literally saw a spot I could have camped on the trail on the second mile. I was like, yeah, right next to the no camping sign. Yeah, that would have been a pretty good idea, I think. Anyway, I'm going to plug the phone in, but basically I'm going to eat something and then I'll edit the video. There is no cell phone coverage at this particular spot, so I'll get it edited, and then probably, at the way this is going, if I rode 50 miles tomorrow, I could be off of the end of the trail. I'm not in a big hurry, but I did 90 miles today, so I do expect that we'll probably start climbing though. I mean, we have to. It's got to be higher elevation at the other end. Yeah. The only critique of this map is it does not show campsites on the map for some reason. It shows picnic tables, but those aren't campsites. That's like where I'm at now. Yeah. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching the videos and following along and all your support, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye. And there's the sun getting pretty low. And yeah, 7:40.